call the meeting of the Jefferson Township Advisory Board on January 15th, 2006,
2026.
or 26. Yeah, 26. John Plant is not available to be here today, so we'll have a meeting.
Yep, go ahead and kick into the agenda.
So
then.
the first thing on the agenda is election of officers.
I nominate Noah Stetzel as chairman.
No, yeah, you'll
Second?
accept it, or
Yeah, I
accept,
accept.
yeah.
So
No vote since you both
Yeah.
did the motion, so.
then I nominate Joe Mueller as secretary.
Accepted.
All right, and then John by default is the member.
And then we need to.
Yeah, you can do a motion to keep the Board of Finance
Yeah.
the same, so.
I motion to keep the election of board finance the same.
Second.
Motion carries. All right, then I just need the approval for our banking institution, which is currently Lake City Bank, and I recommend that we continue with Lake City Bank.
You just need a second on that.
I
we got a
can't-
motion.
You
Motion
gotta have
to,
the motion, yeah.
Go ahead, no. I'll let you do
I
this. Mr. Chair.
motion to accept or approve.
Lake City Bank, I second.
Okay. Yeah, can't write as fast as you guys are moving. Go ahead.
Then the next item is approval of the township attorney Matt Shipman.
Again, we use them very rarely, once or twice a year. He's reasonable in price, and I recommend that we continue to use Matt Shipman for our township attorney.
I motion that we continue to use Matt Shipman as our township attorney.
A second.
Motion carries. Okay. Approval of asset purchases. This is asset purchases that are considered capital, right? So it doesn't include maintenance, which is always over $2,000. Truck maintenance is over $2,000. So this is new purchases that I recommend we continue with the $2,000 asset purchase approval threshold for myself.
I motion that we continue to use the $2,000 limit on the asset purchase.
Second.
Motion carries. All right, I'll dive in then on the financial report for 2025. So earliest we've ever had it done, which is fine by me, gets it out of the way and all that good stuff. Go straight to page 2. This is our account balances for each fund. You can see like the first fund, rainy day fund, it started with 26,000 last year. You guys approved the movement of 24,000 into that from the township fund. So we have currently a balance of 51,399. We did not budget I did not budget anything in that, but if we do ever spend anything out of that, it was part of that capital improvement fund plan that we had to submit to the state. You guys need to approve it anyway, so I'll just do additional appropriations if we decide to spend any of that cash out of the rainy day fund.
Okay.
So that one increased. Township fund, beginning balance $136,699. You can see the receipts and disbursements, or the receipts were higher than disbursements, which is generally good. So we have a balance of 186, 188. Now that's I say it's generally good because that's also what they're criticizing us for, retaining too much money in our general fund. But there again, out of the general fund, you guys can approve anything and everything out of that to be spent. So it would be above the budget or approved the budget. So again, we'd have to do additional appropriations, but that's that. Township assistance, 33,000 we started with. We ended up with 30,000 just dispersed, 2,900. At some point, I don't think I'm going to do it in 2027, maybe 2028. I'm probably asked to put a tax rate on that, the smallest we can, just so we have a little reserve in there. That's one of those funds that is, specifically designed for township assistance. So it is not included in the capital improvement plan. But I know we have not had a tax rate on that for, 10, 15 years, right? At one point, there was probably over 70,000 in there. And so we decided not to put a tax rate on it, and we haven't had a tax rate on it in that long. So I noticed some of the other townships in the county, they put a 0.0001 tax rate on it just to fund it a little bit. Right? So firefighting fund, about even, right? Balance of 108, and we ended up with 109. Because of the way the state changed how local income tax goes in and out of that now, no local income tax goes into the firefighting fund now. It all goes into the township fund. That's why you see the higher receipts on the township fund versus the firefighting fund. And comes out of there is the firefighter's contract, insurance, and it leaves like $5,000 after those things are paid. So it's primarily those two things get paid out of that now. Cume Fire Fund, as you know, in 2025 we authorized the purchase of radios. We collected 88,000, dispersed 108, so it went down about 20,000 in the neighborhood, but still a good balance of 465. Recreation fund, it does have a small tax rate on it, and you can see receipts were 4,100 and disbursements are 3,700, so uptick a little bit. That's also one of those protected funds. So the two protected funds, according to the state, are township assistance and recreation. And then you can see in the payroll deductions category, it started at 0 and ends at 0, which is good. That means my calculations on taxes were correct. So overall, though, right, we started with 798,000 and ended up with 850,000. So an uptick about $52,000 from last year. Here's all the income for the township, all the receipts, breaks it down by fund and by where it came from, right? General property taxes, excise taxes, commercial vehicle taxes, local income taxes. But it breaks down all of the income over pages 3 and 4. There's miscellaneous receipts, and that generally encompasses like cemetery plot sales. That's about it. That's about the only other income we honestly get. Just stop me if you have any questions on it. Page 5 then is the disbursements. So each category, right, that starts with the township fund. It just categorizes them by what category they fall within that fund, and then they're farther back, right, there's a detailed list of each and every payout for each one of those. Yeah, page 7 then starts the detailed list of all the disbursements and the total amount for each one of those. So have any questions on that or what they are. So kind of like the Elon Financial Services, that's the township credit card. Like this year I had to buy toner for the printer, which is not cheap. I think that alone was like $400. So the other ones are tax forms, just miscellaneous things that you have to use a credit card to purchase. Baker Tilly, obviously, you know what that was. KPC is our advertising of this report to the newspaper. Flowtech was something minor here at the fire station. Witt Family Home Stores is now Napa, so that's Napa receipts for here for the fire station. Community Foundation, obviously, that was the work that he did at all our cemeteries, which was great work over the year. I recommend that we do that again this year. He's got many others that he can do, and if we keep on throwing him some money, he'll keep on doing it. So, ESO Solutions, that's a software program that the firehouse uses for reporting to the state. Renord Door, we had a door problem earlier this year. Whitley County Treasurers are ditch taxes that we are not exempt from for the cemeteries and such. So, let's see here. Township funds. Technically, we only had one request this year for township assistance, but that one Midwest funeral and cremation the death occurred. It was a cremation, and the death occurred like on December 28th, and it wasn't paid out until January 3rd or 4th or something like that. So that's what that is. DMJ Management was actually a rental. You can see in the firefighting fund, right? The biggest expense is that Capstone Insurance. It went up slightly this year. That's my January 1st check that I have to write is for insurance for the station or for the firefighters, I should say. And I think it was $37.2 or something like that. So. Motorola. Let's see here. City of Columbia City. The recreation fund, out of the recreation fund, there was a slight uptick in number of t-ball and baseball kids this year, but it was very minor, like $100 extra. So like one extra kid, and then the personal services payroll deductions. You can see all those that we paid out to federal, state, and perf. Any questions on the people we paid this year? Nope. So yeah, total, that's all that. Page 11. That's just our funds. That's a required thing to list. Page 12 is our debt, which we have none. Any leases, which we have none. Oh, no, sorry. Page 13 is deficit balances, so any holdovers from 2025, and we didn't have any. And then page 14 is leases, which we have none. Page 15 is the transfer that you guys authorized from township fund to the rainy day fund. Page 16 is our capital assets, and so this report records any capital assets over $5,000. You can see we added under machinery, equipment, and vehicles. Those were the radios. I think there was 5 of them that were over that $5,000 threshold. So it added to our capital asset list. Accounts payable or receivable, both are 0 at the beginning of the year, January 1st. Page 18 then is the two non-government entities that we pay, which includes the fire station and the Jefferson Hustlers for their leader. And you can see what we paid out for those two things. And then the last, I won't go into details on actual cases, but you can see we only had one township request this year. It assisted two individuals though, one household, and it was covering rent for the month. So it was, knock on wood, a quiet year when it came to township assistance. And then the final is just the after employment benefits that are employee benefits that are paid, and that's just the public employees retirement fund, which is the only thing we pay into. Any questions? Everybody good with that? Good. I encourage anyone who wants to dig through receipts and have it well organized and all that stuff, if you really want to dig through receipts. But I expect an audit this year. It's usually every 4 years or on an election cycle, so I expect to get an audit this year. So I retain all 4 years worth of boxes in my basement until such time I get audited, and then they go to the attic here at this fire station. My wife doesn't like year 4 because there's 4 boxes of paperwork. But so on this, I just need, there's a certification that I'll need if you guys are approving the financial report.
Yep. I motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Perfect. And then, so on this form, I need 2 of these signed, so I have extras too. So Noah, you'll sign twice, here and here. So I give this report to the auditor with the certification, and then the carbon copy of all the checks I wrote, which is actually decreasing significantly because I'm trying to do more and more electronically. So, okay.
I'd also like to make a motion to approve some remote meetings if somebody's not available to be here.
For the one occurrence, no more
Yeah.
than 2 in a row.
Yeah, you can't have 2 in a row, but one time.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Sounds good. I will have Matt Shipman create that ordinance for us. That way it meets all the state regulations and rules. I think that's it. Unless you guys have any other topics.
No.
No.
Some motion to adjourn. Then.
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that. Thanks, Chad.
Yep.